Hey everyone, it's Rich with my wife Kel.
Hi there.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We're going right into your questions. So many of them, and such awesome, some of them really great questions.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, so the way, if you're new here, thanks for being here. The way you ask us questions, very simple. You go to our website. It's www.knr.wtf.com. And you'll see on the top tabs, you'll see Ask Kel-n-Rich. And you just click on that and you submit the form. It's basically some white fill-in boxes. Hit submit. Bob's your uncle. He's a good man. So in this case, we have one ask for you. Okay, we're going to go through a lot tonight. All right, we have about 100. It's thunder.
Oh, yeah, I just saw the lightning.
Did you?
Actually, yeah.
Cool. We're going to get a little thunderstorm action in South Florida.
Very exciting.
So please keep the questions about music. If we've heard certain songs, why aren't you playing certain songs? Would you play a certain song for me in this section? What it does is it just slows us down, and we kind of feel bad that we just don't have time to answer that. We're trying to answer a whole bunch of other things in the comments on YouTube and also on Messenger. We have some Google Hangouts going on and Instagram, and just the list goes on. WhatsApp, some of you. So just keep it to questions that you want to ask us. We're going to get some really good ones tonight. So let's start with the first one. Okay, and I'm not going to say your last name because we want to keep your name anonymous, your identity anonymous. Graham, 58, from Newport, England. If you could only listen to one band for the rest of your life, who would it be? His choice is Pink Floyd. Who would you, if you get one band, Kel?
I'm not making a choice.
You can't. You gotta.
Why? Why can't I?
Okay, then you can't have any. So it's either none or one.
I don't like these questions.
Blame it on Graham.
I'm not blaming anything on Graham. Graham is perfect the way he is. Graham, you're fantastic. You go first.
Okay, one band.
That's a really hard question.
It's a toss-up.
I know.
You have your answer before me. I love it.
It's a future band with all of the bands put into them, and so it's a super mega band.
She's doing the Kobayashi Maru cheat. You just did a James T. Kirk. You did it again. You bent the rules. Whatever. So.
Okay. I'm just gonna say it. ELO. Mr. Blue Sky's coming with me to the grave.
I don't think about that. Okay, so my pick is I need to go with Metallica. I weighed everything. I weighed everything. I
thought you'd say Pink Floyd.
I know, because you know what? I have all the songs in my head. I have every line of every song, everything off of bootlegs, the single stuff. It's in here, so I can hear it in my head. I can hear
Metallica or both.
No, Pink Floyd.
Oh, I see.
With Metallica too. It's a hard question, but if you ask me today, I would say the first thing that came to mind was Porcupine Tree, because they have a lot of music to listen to, and I don't know a lot of it, so I listen to them. But then after 6 months, I'd be like, oh, is there another band I could have chosen? So I was also thinking of someone like Buckethead.
See,
because he has 312 albums.
But in my heart of hearts, I have such a big list of all these wonderful bands, Soen and Devon and Delane and all the symphonic metal and Demu and Malmsteen and all these wonderful gifts that all of you have given to me. I can't choose.
I know.
I can't choose.
We thought 3 was hard. Now you pinned us to 1, man.
Because I was sitting here thinking about it.
So that's our answer. Okay, Frank.
All right, that's it. I can't make it.
Male, 58. You gave your answer. From the Netherlands. I'll read this. Dear Kel-n-Rich, your first reaction video featuring Tina S. playing the Moonlight Sonata taught me that Kel is a classically trained piano player. In another video, you, Kel, told us that you stopped playing piano. My question to you is, why, oh why? If the last piece you played was...
It was actually the last piece I played was the Moonlight Sonata.
and afterwards you decide that there wasn't anything left to turn, that would be anything left to learn. I'm sorry. That would be a decision I could live with. But please don't say you gave up classical piano music in favor of disposable music on another instrument. I don't know much, but I do know that I'm not the only viewer that would love to see and hear you play the piano. So how are you going to solve this problem?
Great question. So I actually gave up playing to have a child. And as a young concert pianist and a music teacher, you practice 8 hours a day. And when you have a baby, I felt I needed to choose. I either was going to be a pianist and a music teacher, or I was going to be a mother. Because when that little 6-month-old is crawling around the piano bench and climbing up on my lap, and I'm giggling and laughing and I want to play with him, there was not a lot of piano music being played. So I gave up classical music, not because there wasn't more to learn, but I had kind of exhausted some of the higher level pieces. I had played them and played them and played them and played them and played them, and I knew that there was more out there. So I vowed that if I would ever re-explore music again at some point in my life, I would choose rock and roll, R&B, and jazz. And then this has happened.
Right. So his question is, how are you going to solve this problem? So please don't say you gave up classical piano in favor of disposable music on another instrument, as in, I guess, the guitar. And
No.
So
My interest in the guitar is because I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar. But I also used to be a really great cellist. And so I fantasized about having a cello that I could plug in, because I can play pretty much everything but the bagpipes. So I have a lot of skill when it comes to playing instruments. But I was talking to someone today, and she knows some classically trained artists and some pretty famous some classical concert pianists and classical cellists and violinists. She said that she was speaking with them and that they talked about the same thing that I talk about, which is that when you're in the vein of classical music, you are not there to create. You are there to repeat. You play what has already been created by someone else. You don't add in your own expression. You take your personality out and you put in Mozart, and you become Mozart. You become Beethoven. You become Liszt. And so it's very limiting, because improvisation, imagination, and creativity are not in the equation. So that's one of the reasons I would not go back to that.
right. But now you have in the living room.
But he surprised me on Monday.
Right, because a lot of people don't know.
With a digital baby grand piano, which is something I have always wanted for my whole life. I've wanted one that I could plug in. It's a little supercomputer inside this beautiful mini baby grand. It's 3 feet by 5 feet. It's gorgeous. Half-Life Sister was here when it arrived, which was amazing. She shared the day with us.
Yeah, so we have video of Kel actually sitting down to just practice Lost Not Forgotten by Dream Theater, and then off camera we're composing some melodies and some songs together, and she's practicing a lot, so that's how she's going to remedy it. You're going to see a lot of Kel re-emerging as the artist that she is, and we're going to be creating together, and I hear the sounds, and I'm more of the composer arranger, and I just say, can you add more of this, less of this? What if you do this? And she's going to be exploring the roots of jazz, the roots of blues, and we're going to be going way back. So
It's a great question. I totally value the classics. I think they're a great building block. It's just not the whole enchilada.
There you go. Great influence
question.
then, and a great foundation. So,
Thank you.
Carrie, 58 from Philly. Name your 3 favorite superheroes movies.
Superhero movies.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Definitely Hulk for me. I love, especially the last movie. Especially that was, it was Endgame, right? Mm-hmm. I thought how that was written. It's like, wasn't he written like that all the time? Where Banner actually, totally. He comes to terms with the Hulk, and I just love that. I love the Hulk as a superhero because he is like the greatest. So that's one. Now why don't you go one? We have 3 to do.
Deadpool.
Yeah, that's
funny.
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
Funny character.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Ryan does him
Oh my
justice.
God.
Oh wow.
So superhero movies. So Deadpool 1.
Well, superheroes from the movies, I guess, or this parentheses movies, so we can answer however we want.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
So which hero, which superhero?
Star-Lord. Cracks me up.
Okay, all right.
I like it when they're funny.
All right.
Yeah.
You know,
And my third is always Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer. All the way. She did it justice. I used to read Catwoman when I was growing up.
Did you?
Totally. It was a little comic book tomboy. It was fun.
So, you know, I'm pretty old school. I think that the whole concept of Superman is just awesome.
Yeah.
You know, just whatever and whoever plays him, it doesn't matter to me. Just keep going. Just keep going with it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So Hulk, Superman.
And I'm gonna. He's in a class by himself. Neo.
This is true.
I think he's a superhero.
Absolutely, he can fly.
And he saves humanity like 6 times.
He does. And he's flawed.
Name another hero that saved humanity 6 times for real. My other one was going to be either Xan or Jaina, but I couldn't decide.
Oh, I know. You love the Wonder Twins. You really do.
I totally do. I think they're just awesome.
Great question.
I mean, shape of, form of, come on. Like, just... All right. All right, from Asher.
Hi, Asher.
Male, 67, from Golan Heights, Israel.
Oh.
Way to go, man.
Hi.
Ah, okay, so let me explain the tattoo again. I'll just do this real quick because you're living in Golan Heights, so you know what's going on here. This is Hava Nikabel Aleinu et Ha'etgar. Let's accept the challenge. Thanks, Kel. The Sechvi coming in from the night, calling the day. And the translation was bring it on, but there's no bring it on in Hebrew. So, Hava Nikabel Aleinu et Ha'etgar.
Thanks for asking.
Jonathan, male,
Hi, Jonathan.
54, from Joyzy.
Oh.
Has Kel ever heard the Beatles when she was growing up? She's been a classically trained musician, and they were heavily influenced by George Martin, who was a classically trained musician as well. So did you hear the Beatles when you were growing up?
A little bit.
Can you name some songs? That's putting you on the spot.
Sgt. Pepper.
Okay. I Want to Hold Your Hand?
I Want to Hold Your Hand. Just anything that was
Twist
on
and
the...
Shout?
Yep.
Okay, so she knows Beatles.
I very
at
limited.
least the basics.
Only what was
She knows
on.
those.
Only what was on the radio.
Okay, so that you'll know probably a fifth then, maybe even 6th. Yeah, so we're gonna do
Yeah,
some.
I do like them though.
Yeah, I want to do. Do you know "Fool on the Hill"?
Yes.
You know "Fool on the Hill." Damn it! And what I wanted to do, "If I Fell in Love with You." If I fell in love with you.
Yes.
I think she knows the Beatles. All right, let's move on.
Okay. Yes.
Jack, male, 62, from Staten Island.
Hi, Jack.
My aunt and uncle, Howie and Nan, well, Nan and Howie in that case, lived in Staten Island. And I spent a lot of time on Staten Island when I was growing up. Very fond memories. I know this is not the place for requests. I'm curious. So I kept this one.
Oh.
I'm curious why you haven't done The Sky Above the Rain and The Great Escape by Marillion, because there's so many frickin' requests that we can't just keep loading up with each band. We did 2 from Marillion. We're going to come back and we're going to do some of the more popular ones from Marillion. So that's the answer, is that we don't stay with
try to
one band and keep
spread it
going,
out.
unless it's a band like ELO that's totally just captured Kel's
We try to spread it out.
essence. All right, so
And
yeah.
we have a limited amount of time to do all this because we both have full-time jobs.
It's not personal.
Yeah. We're trying to get to it all. Honestly, we're
we
going to
see
be
you,
here
bud.
for years. You're going to be tired of us. We'll
We
be
see
80.
you. We see you, man. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we'll get to
Graham,
them.
male, 58, from Newport, England. Did we
Hi,
say
Graham.
Graham already? Graham?
The other Graham was
Newport.
from...
No.
Oh, same
male,
Graham?
58. I'm not, let me just see. Nope, that's just a note to us.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So here's one from
Chris.
a guy named Chris, and 49 years old, from St. Louis. First, both of you are awesome people. Much like
Hi,
Kel,
Chris.
I was very abused by my parents, who were both ordained ministers. I have two sisters who left our house early, but I did not separate from this abuse until I was 27.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my sisters have sought counseling to cope with what we've been through, but every time I talk to them, they both seem so very angry and bitter. All right, so I'm not sure how long the counseling's been going on, but got to give it time. A lot of that stuff takes time.
Yeah.
I always have dealt with things through music and art and solitude. Fast forward, I now have a loving family. Good job. Everything I never had growing up, and I'm a great dad trying to be a good husband.
I'm sure you're doing a great job.
Yeah, way to go. That's half
Good for
half
you.
the battle is having the willingness and the intent to be fearless about that.
And
especially in
making
this
the
world.
life that you want by design.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
Yeah. But the past finds its way back to me. During arguments with my wife, arguing with the wife, I will say I have no desire to fight with you. I have no desire to fight with you. She responds, too bad, which puts me right back into situations with my mom and sisters who would blow up and say things they couldn't take back. I try so hard not to lose control of my temper that I often will just go quiet. And I've tried to explain where I'm at in moments like this. So the million-dollar question, do you think counseling would be beneficial or detrimental for a situation like this? So I'll answer it just because I really want to share this. I've been working with men and young men for decades. And first of all, you're going to talk and think about yourself, okay? You're gonna operate within what can I do? What are my abilities? What's my awareness? Okay, that's the first thing. It doesn't have to do with anybody else. Something is triggering you to argue, and something's triggering you to go quiet and basically clam up. It's not that I don't believe you have to go back into your past more than you want to look right now and say, what do you want to be different in your life? How do you want things to go? Have a very clear map of what that looks like. So first, analyze what you're not comfortable with. If you want to do that with a counselor, it's certainly going to help. Okay, it's not going to hurt you. All right. You want to pick someone that you get to meet. It's maybe highly referred by someone that is quite healthy, that has had some service and some time with a counselor. But certainly counseling can help everybody as long as you're open to it. Absolutely. Not going to get brainwashed, nothing like that. You just want to not be alone with this anymore, because if you're fighting with your wife and the past is creeping in, that's you got some work to do. And it's not your fault, but those programs are on you, and you're feeling resigned possibly to how you are at this point. You're feeling a little helpless, but you're asking the question, which is the absolute key, and that's how you start getting into these problems and coming up with some great solutions and implementing a plan and starting with some very small steps. What do you think, Kel?
I think it's a great question. Just speaking from my own experience, what has happened in my past does not define my present or my future. So when I think back to the way it was for a long time, it's made me a more compassionate, loving person. I recognize and realize that those people in my life were not a good fit for me. And they couldn't give me what I wanted or what I needed because they just didn't have the skill or the ability. And so I extracted myself for my own personal health. And no one gets a pass for bad behavior, including a parent, a sibling, a friend, a goldfish. So I understand where you're coming from. That stuff in the past, though, needs to be, it's not who you are. It's not where you are. That stuff is over with. And you need to create your new reality. And I think that finding someone to speak to that is not associated with any of it is always a good idea, because they have no vested interest except in your success. So your outcome will be self-invested.
Yeah. And when you can learn what your triggers are and learn how to dance with them, learn how to take a pause, know that that's just a response from the past, from conditioning. We're conditioned to respond a certain way.
You said something to me a few weeks ago. So Rich has a men's team, and they meet once a week via Skype because they're all over the continent. And so they do digital now. And there's some teams that meet in cities, but he doesn't have one here. So he's got this other team that he belongs to, and they really do great work of helping men come to their best.
Yeah, work, health, money, relationship kind of deal.
And what was said to me a few weeks ago, probably a month ago, was you in passing said, your dragons are not for you to slay them. We're not here to slay the dragon.
Yeah, well, you're here to tame it. Just tame it. You need your dragons. You need your dragons. You need your challenge. If you don't have your challenge, you wither and rot and die. You become tired and you just melt away. So you need these challenges. So you don't think that life is going to be rosy. So you have some good challenges here. That's good. You got something to look forward to. A better relationship.
There's a book out
Stability.
there,
Mm-hmm.
and its title is No Mud, No Lotus, because the lotus flower is one of the most beautiful flowers on the planet, but it needs to grow in the disgusting, sludgy, scudgy mud of the swamp. It germinates only in that disgusting soil. It goes up through the swamp to blossom beautifully, to seek the sun. And so the book is about how, despite toxic, negative, awful histories and backgrounds, even beautiful things can grow. So you're a beautiful thing, and you've come from a very tumultuous place, but it's made you, I'm sure, so appreciate the wonderfulness in your life. And I get that you want to communicate better with your wife.
Yeah,
So counseling may be helpful.
And there's one line I just want to go to, and then we're going to move on to the next one. So when your wife says, during arguments, my wife will say, I will say, I have no desire to fight with you, wife. She responds, too bad. The reason is because she's got something that she needs to work through with you. How you guys are going at solving the problem is counterproductive when yelling is going on. No. All you want to do with your wife, with your partner, with your friend, with your business partner, with the person on the subway that you might be having a little bit of a moment with, you want to go to analyze the situation, slow it down, analyze the situation, then stop and decide what the actual problem is, the crux. Then get some creative solutions together. You do this together. You just throw anything up on the wall. We can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. How about this, how about this, how about this, till both of you are heard. Then you analyze what your top 1 or 2 or 3 are, and then you decide which is going to be the action, and then you implement it. Mm-hmm. That is how the creative mind, the smarter thinking mind goes at problems. And that means 2 people, or 3 people, or 5 people, or a group of 10 people. Okay?
That's a good point.
All right, so that doesn't need counseling. If you guys could get on board with that, and if you want to talk to me about that, I'd be more than happy to, because it's something that I'm going to be doing.
Something we do.
Yeah, something that we do. It's a thing, and we help people with something called the Smarter Thinking Method. Awesome.
Great
Thank
question.
you, Chris.
Hopefully that helps. Let
Josh,
us know.
male, 20 years old, from Taunton, England. Thank you.
Hi, Josh.
What genres of music besides rock and metal do you enjoy listening to? Kel? Besides rock and metal.
Symphonic metal.
Okay, that's
Does
metal.
that count?
No, that's metal.
I really like jazz. I really like R&B. I'm not really sure what Motown is, but I'm pretty curious about it, so I'd like to listen to that. I do like classical music. I've just heard a lot of it.
Yeah, you like epic soundtracks?
I like epic soundtracks from video games. So great monster music.
Loud. She likes it loud.
Yeah, I do.
I love it loud.
I love Spanish music.
You like rockabilly?
I love rockabilly. Oh my God, put rockabilly on and my feet start dancing and I can't stop. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I love Cuban music. I love dancing. I love salsa. I love belly dancing. I'm a belly dancing teacher. I don't do that here though. It was long ago. I like soft, flowy, ambient music. I love house music. I love electronic music. I used to make digital music. I had a program called Acid. It was by a company called Sonic Foundry, and I made music for years with that, just for myself. That was fun. It's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I love opera.
Yes, you do.
I do.
So I'll say that I'll start with the sappy stuff. I love 70s cheese.
He does.
Love 70s cheese. I love the ballads. I just love that. Everything from Bread all the way to, all the great songwriters. Even Barry Manilow, for God's sakes, because I grew up listening to that.
Yeah, that's
It
very
was on the
cute.
radio. My mom would play it. One thing I don't like is Broadway tunes, like as a genre, but I like certain songs a lot because I grew up with them, and certain Broadway shows are just near and dear to me. I like boogaloo, which is a certain type of jazz, kind of jazz fusion.
Yes.
I really like hard, just straight up classic jazz. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love listening to it. I really enjoy scratchy kind of Billie Holiday stuff, way, way, way back. I like Dion and the Belmonts kind of stuff. I like doo-wop. I like bubblegum pop, fun music to dance to, party. I love chill. Chill was like my favorite in the late, like Robert Miles,
Yes.
Dreamland, 1995,
Yeah.
that kind of era. And I do like, ambient music. Yeah, I like classical, but not overdone. I don't like Baroque.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not so much. Not so much.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I never knew that. We've
Yeah.
actually never talked about this.
Yeah, I don't like Muzak, elevator music. That's just it's the lowest form of music, I think. And I think that's enough.
I also.
I like electronic music, but not as much as she does.
Well, that's because I used to make it, so that's fun. I also love chakra music. So chakra music specifically, when you
like
listen
meditation
to
music. Yeah.
yes, when you listen to chakra tones, they're actually the frequencies are dialed into the frequencies of your body, and you feel the music in certain pieces of you as the tones go along. That
I love
like.
Tibetan monks.
Yes.
Okay.
I have this hair. I think it's gone.
Close your eyes.
Gone. Perfect.
Okay, good.
Poof.
Awesome question. Dirk, 51, male,
Hi, Dirk.
from Stuttgart, Germany. Can you watch something from Rammstein? We can, but Rammstein gets blocked right out of the gate. So we're not.
I know Rammstein.
Yeah, and
a
so do I.
lot.
So do I. We're just not going to do
It's
it.
not. Yeah, it'll get blocked.
We're just not
out.
going to do it. It's just we tried
That's
like
all.
4 of them and they all got blocked. And I
Yes.
tried splicing them and just not doing it until something else can happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jared, male, 29, from Spanaway, Washington.
Hi, Jared.
Whew. I have a returning addiction to pornography, and I was wondering if there is any way you would recommend that I deal with it. The addiction was gone for about 8 years, and now it's back.
I would ask the same questions we've asked before: is what is missing in your life? You're returning to something that you've already dispensed with. You've finished with that phase, but either you are bored or you have a need and it's filling the need. So I'm not sure.
So how do you deal with it? So first, understand the problem. Okay,
Yes.
understand the problem. What's the situation? That's what Kel was just bringing you through. Once you understand the situation, what's the big decision that really needs to be made? What's the crux of the situation? I'll just use an example. God forbid, my wife passed away. I've had a hard time meeting women. I find my sexual outlet watching porn. It's safe, it's easy, it's fun, and it's just getting out of hand. And I'm watching it too much, and I'm missing work, and blah, 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 blah. So the issue is that you're really lonely. You need to have some sort of outlet. You need to reframe that whole idea of intimacy. See what I mean? So first of all, if you want to get rid of it, you have to get rid of it. I mean, you need to be canceling the sites. You need to
Well, you've
reduce
done it
your
once
time.
before,
Yeah.
so you can do it again.
Yeah, it just
That's the thing.
Yeah, but you got to know why.
Yes,
Like why,
the
why
why.
why you want it and why you want it gone. So that's how you first approach it. And
Rich,
yeah, without knowing all the other details, I totally appreciate the question, man. That's
Rich
right on.
has a great question that he asks people, and I hear he's asked me many times. I hear him asking himself. He asks other men and other people. He asks the clients that we work with. What is most important to you in your life?
What matters most?
What matters most?
What's the inventory? Top 5. If you can go top 10, great, but top 5.
What are the
What
things that
matters
matter
most?
most to you? And do you have them? Are you being them? Are you not being them? Why is it? Because a person's motivation, why or why not, we all do things for various reasons. They're all quite logical to us, even if they make sense to nobody else. So the big thing is to find out what your why is. And when you can figure out that, you'll probably be closer to your answer.
Yeah. I think that's good enough. I think for now, without knowing the rest of the story. It's obviously we're going to be able to give generic answers, but hopefully that gives you a good path.
I think it's
Okay.
time for you to do a lot of self-questioning.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like something's missing.
Big time.
And you're using something easy to plug the hole,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, and if you want to email me, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about this. Again, please understand everything that we've said for the last 32 minutes on any of these Ask Kel-n-Rich segments. We're not professionals. We're not dispensing professional advice. It's not legal advice. We're just having a conversation with some tea and crumpets. Oh, yeah, there's a question about that about
the
our
mugs.
mugs, and we'll let you know. All right, when that comes up. Thanks so
question.
much.
Hopefully that helps.
Yeah,
Give us a
right
shout.
on. Let's get busy on that one. Okay, that's good stuff. Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Male, 61 from Macon. Looks like Macon, Georgia, I guess. Oh. I just stumbled across YouTube. You're delightful. I've not made it too far into your catalog. Have you done Great Gig in the Sky or Jessica? Jessica? I don't know Jessica. Great Gig in the Sky, she knows it very, very well.
It's one of my favorites.
She knows Dark Side. Would love to see them. Also, wish you were here. There are some covers out there that are great. 2 Orthodox Jewish men in a train station in Ireland where the awaiting passengers sing. You saw that, right?
No.
Wish you were here when they're in the train station and they're in the middle and everyone's singing.
No.
So Kel hasn't seen it, so that might be something that we'll do. Okay?
Great.
Yes.
Thanks for the note. Thanks for being here.
Beck, female, 34, from
Hi, Beck.
Adelaide, Australia. I love you guys. Tricky question, but do you have a favorite song or band? I'm a massive Dream Theater fan. I absolutely love your reactions to their songs.
Thank you.
Well, favorite right now that's completely captured me is the band Soen, S-O-E-N.
Soen, check them out.
Yeah, it's, amazing stuff. It just hits me in the heavy. It hits me in the melodic kind of
In the soul.
music soundscapes with Floyd and all of the prog, and it wraps it all into something where the lyrics are really so real and useful and educational even, but not in a kind of way, just in a real thought-provoking kind of way. Love them.
With Soen, I often feel like it's the big brother I never had, giving me the advice that I didn't know I needed, but was really glad I was listening when he was speaking.
Yeah.
That's what I feel about that music.
Yeah.
And there's many other bands that are wonderful. I have developed a massive love for progressive rock. I love it.
Yeah. She's a
Devin.
progger. She's a progger.
Yes.
So that's the short answer
Great
right now. I
question.
mean,
Hopefully that
we have a
answers
lot
it.
of we probably have top 20 at this point that we can rattle off, and when we have somewhere around 800 videos, somewhere close to 920 songs that we've reacted to.
Yeah.
Most new to Kel, I would say about
Yes.
30%, maybe 25% new to me.
Yeah.
So we just keep checking out our answers, because I'm sure we're going to keep answering it as it goes on. Right now, this last 5 weeks, 6 weeks is Soen.
Yes.
And can't wait for the new Tool album coming out in a couple days. Okay, Nikolai, male,
Nicola.
16 from
Nicola.
Bulgaria. Oh, I did it again.
You did it again.
I did it again. Why am I?
Because you can't. It looks like an I, but it's an A.
Yeah, because from
Hi,
this
Nicola.
distance. Do you think there's such thing as a good and bad music, or do you think it is a matter of opinion? Definitely a matter of opinion. Definitely, art is art. Art is what the viewer, the seer, makes of it. I personally think. Let me think of that a question. I'm going to come back to that part because I do have another answer. I personally think there is a distinction between opinion and quality. For example, I don't like folk music, but it certainly has a quality to it. Absolutely. So, for me, there's some real noise and shit that's put out on a pressing, on a digital format, whatever, and I'm just like, that is garbage. Like, it doesn't move me at all. The quality of it could be good in that genre, but I don't like it. But to say something is good or bad and I'm the judge, jury, and executioner, no way.
The only time that I would consider something to be bad, like we'll take the violin. So when I was learning to play the violin, you have to be perfect when you put your fingers on the frets. And if you're off pitch by just a little bit, we all know what that sounds like. So for the first year, it was a very noisy year in my bedroom. So I switched to the cello, which was a much better fit for me mechanically and physiologically. And I took to the cello like that. So I was not good at playing the violin, so the music I produced, even at a young age, was not pleasant, good music. So I understand your question,
Yeah.
but sometimes I think it's a matter of musicianship, skill, time, practice, age, exploration, and patience. It takes a lot to become proficient at a musical instrument, and you have to be tenacious.
Good example. Good example, I think. So you have paint and you have a canvas, okay? So you can just go, okay, I'm going to paint within the lines. I have my shapes, I have my colors, and there's my form, and it's balanced, it's nice, it's not, there's nothing wrong. But then another artist comes by and goes, and it's not in the lines. So what's the standard that you're going for? Accuracy with pitch, right? Having the thing, or is it going to be like drop tuning, where it's kind of like it's off in the ear, but it's for what they're trying to do, they've nailed it. It's 100% accurate for what they're trying to do. Whether you like it or not, that's another thing. So I think you're talking about professionalism and accuracy. Does that make sense?
I think his question is like he believes some music is good and some music is bad, or do we believe that some music is good and some music is bad? The music that I don't personally like, I try to understand it before I judge it. So I'm seeking to learn about the music, even if it doesn't work really well in my head.
Yeah.
So at this point, I would say I do not believe there is a bad intention with music. Musicians do not set out to be bad.
No.
They're doing things on purpose.
It's like a flea market. It's like a garage sale. It's like a the tables are out and everyone has their stuff out. You can either choose to like it or move on.
And
someone else is going to grab it behind you if you don't.
We, the consumers, we are voracious, and our appetites are not easily satisfied.
Very picky.
And there needs to be all these hundreds of thousands of millions of songs because everybody internalizes sound differently. My ear canal is shaped like a spiral. It's almost like a tornado. When you look at we have molded earplugs, and when we got mine made for me, they're shaped like this, like a spiral. And the sound, when I put them in, I have to twist them in and up. Otherwise, they don't just go in. So everybody's ear canal is different. The way the sound goes in is different. The structures in your ears are different, and everybody interprets music differently. So there has to be all this choice. So good, bad.
Yeah. And I'll say one thing about the vocals. When someone's just yelling at me and yelling profanity and stuff, I don't like that. It doesn't mean that it's bad music. It just means that I don't like it, and I think it's just sucks for me. Then I just move on. So, but I don't condemn them and saying you shouldn't put that out. So maybe the album Lulu.
I'm gonna listen to that album. I gotta know what you're talking about.
From Vaughn, male, 54, Daleville, Indiana. I have 5 daughters. I have sung at 2 of their weddings. Can't Fight This Feeling by R.E.R. Speedwagon and Cinderella by Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Nice.
My 3rd daughter is getting married in September. I am struggling to find a song to sing at her wedding.
Aw, you're a good daddy.
Wow. Do you lovely, positive music lovers have any idea for me? Okay, so I have sung 2 of their weddings. Okay, my 3rd daughter is getting married in September. Okay, so you have a couple weeks. I can't say, so you have a higher register in your voice, I would imagine, if you sang Can't Fight This Feeling. So, boy.
I don't know the song Cinderella, so I'm trying to put some music ideas together. And we don't know anything about your daughter. So I would before I give a suggestion, I would ask you some questions to ask yourself. What made you pick, if you did pick those 2 songs for your previous daughters? Did you choose them because of some quality that you see in them as their loving dad? Did you see something between the bride and the groom? I can't fight this feeling anymore. Did it go on long? Are you trying to paint a story about your daughters, which is really fun? Is it reflective of them? Cinderella finding her Prince Charming. I mean, those are great themes.
Right.
And I don't know the Cinderella song, but that must be what it's got to be about, something like that.
You know what? I'm sorry, I don't. Stephen Chapman. So I just want to say something, Kel. One of the best places that I found to get inspiration from is a karaoke book. So if you go to a karaoke bar, you just start flipping through, and you'll be like, oh. I think Billy Joel's always fun to sing. Just the Way You Are would be fantastic. But that's that's a father singing that to a daughter is kind of creepy. So I would think more along the lines, if you like REO Speedwagon, you have a higher register. So Billy Joel, Elton John, some really nice love songs. But I'll think about that. And so this is Vaughn.
Maybe
from
send us an
Daleville.
email.
Please, because I want to give you some songs, and I need to actually be looking at my playlists.
Yeah.
But you know what? Just give me one sec.
They're right in front of him.
Give me one sec. So, Kel, you keep talking. I'm just going to bring this up.
I think you need to look at her and who she is and who they are, and something that suits the 2 of them. That's really cool that you would sing for them. That's awesome.
So,
love songs are great.
It's so funny. If you're a woman, it would be great to sing some of these that I'm looking at. Yeah, let me get back to you.
Because, send us an email.
Yeah.
Because we want to pick a song that suits you and them to suggest to you. So maybe give us a little information about her, or how, maybe even you just writing about her would give you an idea. So if you had to write the top 10 things that you love about her, and then maybe that you love about the 2 of them, that might help stimulate you to create an idea of maybe what you're looking for.
Maroon 5. Look at some of the Maroon 5 songs.
Yeah.
Adam Levine's voice, and some of the lyrics are just amazing. Yeah, Daylight, but it's got to fit the theme for the event. So
whatever the
there's
event
a lot
is.
of great songs. So I want to get back to you on that one.
Because different could be church wedding, could be beach wedding, could be backyard barbecue. Depends
Yeah,
what the theme is.
Yeah, we can nail this in a day.
So email address?
Yeah, it's send it to KELNRICHG at gmail.com. Kel-n-Rich at Kel-n-Rich-G at gmail.com.
Thanks for asking.
All right, awesome. So, okay, so let's go to the next page. We did a page, Kel.
Wow, that's wonderful. Do you want to cut the video off and come back? It's 45 minutes.
Absolutely.
Just only because YouTube, we don't want to make the videos too long on YouTube.
Thanks for
All
great
right.
questions. Coming back
Great
at you
questions. Thank you so much.
later.
Bye.